Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome back to the thing that is actually a roundup tonight, because we are finally, for the love of all that is holy, finally rounding up the XTC. Liam's here with a camera. Connor's here with a camera. Funwalk, still no camera. But I've been.
Next time. I
It's
promise I
too
promise Bartosz to do the face
goddamn.
reveal on his stream because of the giveaway and donations and charity. So
I
next time.
literally created this. I created the concept that Funwalk is too pretty for TV, and he's fucking running it as a charity event.
I know, right? It's kind of
I
smart.
mean, I'd
actually.
ask for a cut, but it's charity.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to improve the artwork on the channel. You can thank Kez for the bit at the front, and hey, I've been doing this stuff around the edges, so I'm pretending that I know what I'm doing. Right.
Hey Vince.
Let's
Hey Vince.
let's do some things. I feel like we should ignore America for the entire podcast, and apart from giving Marcel a round of applause. I mean, I haven't written any show notes. Are we going to do a proper roundup? Um, I feel like we should go through the
Done any notes? Have
No.
we? Fuck. Have you seen where Ireland England finished?
I mean, we're going to get onto that one. Shall we go through some results? I feel like we should go through some results. Actually, before we go through some results, I'm gonna just do a couple of shouty things, because X-Wing in person has been back, which has been really really good, and I finally have a tournament planned in at Dice Saloon, which is going to be great. Yeah, the XTC is finally over. The finals are finally over. Final.
There is a lot of people,
There. Is.
mostly people that played the XCC, who are very, very happy about that.
Yes. And so yeah, we have things planned at Dice Saloon. Connor has been continuing to play International X-Wing online and do quite well.
Thanks. I think quite
Yeah.
well. Kind of sounds like kind of a thanks.
No, it's good. I mean, you what was it? That was your third cut in a row in Gold Squadron
Yeah.
events.
A fourth, a 16th, and a fifth.
Yeah. And Liam is repeatedly beating people up in the Birmingham area. And he also plays
And
X-Wing.
he's playing X-wing.
I beat him
And
to
he's
it.
playing X-Wing.
We all said it. Okay. You have a reputation, Liam.
He's the size of a bear. Had sex
like
with
it.
another bear whose grandfather is a rhinoceros.
But he gives good hugs.
Yeah, because he's a bear.
Okay. Goodly.
Yeah. But no, so I think, yeah, all
Break
in.
bones as well.
Oh, the actual real life X-Wing happens this weekend as well in Milan. There was a decent sized tournament for Italy, which was really interesting to see the meta, now that people are back
Italian.
playing. Oh, yes, but also, I mean, there was a lot of international people that went, and there was a lot more aces than there were online. A lot more. So,
Yep.
I can see it, right? Because people, like in real life, just notice that they don't have the ships for Beef and Swarm anymore. Because nobody brought X-Wing in the last couple of months.
So I'm really curious about this. I also think there is and this is my experience anyway. I cannot play aces as well on TTS as I can in person, because I find it difficult to judge the distances on TTS. Like Vassal, I can do, they can't do TTS. So, yeah.
I watched your game against Gary today when it went up because I couldn't obviously when you were playing it.
Hmm.
And yeah, I confess you're considerably slower.
Yeah, I'm not.
But
I'm
No
not.
negative comments. That game could have gone either way. Actually, I thought Gary played a really good game.
Yeah, it could have gone either way, and realistically, like if you go back and watch all of my XTC games, I'm not playing well. I'm not.
I don't think you
playing
flew
well.
badly in that one at all. It was just not quick.
Yeah, but I mean that is me. Yes. Let's be honest. The hot sauce. I think drinking the hot sauce was probably the worst part of the hot sauce. The bit afterwards was just the byproduct, but you know. But yeah, for me, I definitely think that flying aces in person and being able to judge the distances properly is a thing. I mean, I was practicing. It is as an interesting one for me. So I went 2, and I'm not really going to talk about records for the XTC because I don't think it's that important. I think it's much more important to look at the team record and what the team has done as opposed to looking at individual players.
Also, I mean, Ollie don't want anyone to look at how we did.
Oh no, I'm the one person that I'm going to talk about my record because I fucked it. I went 2-7.
I fucked it harder. I'd like to just put it out there.
Yeah.
We can talk about my record. It was kind of okay.
Yeah, we'll do that. But I mean, what is interesting is I was playing a load of practice games beforehand, and I was doing a lot of those in person. And the practice games in person were going okay. And then you go online, and yeah, I don't know. But yeah, as Toby is saying, people not owning a lot of random ships and bumping things with swarms and everything else is definitely a thing in real life play. So there we go. People just don't want to be flying 7 ships all day in person.
Yep, I'll fully attest to that because after the Sith Taker Open, I'm not looking at Malorus Swarm again. Nope. I can't do it to myself. I'm running 3 ships or 2 ships, that's it.
Yeah.
For the rest of time.
The rest of my life.
You should get back into it, Vince. His points are about to come out, so it is a good time to bounce back into X-Wang. Although,
Trace, you haven't missed much. We were just talking about you, but that bit's finished, so we moved on.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, Austrian Ecstasy results not great. Not great.
I mean, they didn't perform how we expected them to
Mm-hmm.
by not playing a single game.
Yes. But no,
Just in case he's floating around there, as a goal, we've just started.
he hasn't posted yet,
We
so
should actually just make that the artwork. As a goal, we've just started.
I mean, it happens every time. I'm waiting for him. It's going to happen. So yeah. So shall we? I feel like I wasted enough time. Shall we move on to talking about the XTC?
Let's go.
All right. Here's one I made earlier. Boof. There it is.
Oosh.
So let's zoom in a little bit so people on stream can see this. But
Keep zooming. Keep zooming. There we go.
There we go. Right
Nope,
then.
perfect.
So, cool. So I think I'm going to start from the bottom.
Oh crap.
I think I'm going to start from the bottom because I'm going to put my face in the dirt here and say that whilst I did get 2 of the bottom predictions correct, I definitely did not get the 3rd of the bottom predictions correct.
No.
That hurt.
No, in fairness, I mean, talk about predictions. And actually, let's recall those briefly. I said Singapore, Germany, England.
Yep.
Putting me at 3rd, 7th, and 8th. Thank you, Singapore. I appreciate it.
I got 2.
Germany, England, what the fuck?
I got 2.
Well, I put Ireland in the top 3. Like, come on, mate. That was a deal.
Liam, what did you
Yeah,
go
I
with?
let
Your...
pretty much everybody down.
What did
I
you
can't
go
remember.
for? Okay. You definitely put
Can't remember who I
Italy.
put in the bottom. I think it might have been Switzerland. No, I put Italy to win because we had the exact same top 3 predictions.
We did have the
did.
same top 3, yeah. So bottom 3. Did you go France bottom 3?
I don't
Might
think we
have
did it.
I
We
think
did?
I think no. I
There's
went
the goals here.
France. I went France bottom 3. I said France, Ireland, Switzerland.
Oh, I don't think we did bottom 3, man.
No, that's a good point. I think we avoided bottom 3 because it was unfair because we don't you don't know who's going to get there out of the 10 teams. It's like who's going to have a bad day, right?
No, I do recall putting the South Canadians there. To be honest,
No, we don't.
I don't think you did.
I think
I'm
it was,
just gonna say, I'm gonna take the hit for Ireland right now. We're not unhappy.
no.
We made the finals. We didn't come last.
And actually, Ireland in the finals had some pretty good rounds. Like there was some hard-fought games there.
I had the worst played game. I had the worst day I've ever played. I had 2 games. I don't know if I told it or not. It couldn't go worse. I threw my game against France so hard it bounced off the fucking wall. It was horrendous. I was dominating and I fucked it out the window.
Hmm.
And my opponent, who is a wonderful human being and one of the best players they have, will highly admit this. I could not have fucked it harder.
Yeah.
And I just dived downhill from there.
Yeah.
Worst day I've ever played.
Yes.
Thank fuck for this weekend.
Yeah, I think though there is something to be said for, and this is okay. Let's get the excuses in early. This is going to be the excuse post. I feel like from an England perspective, obviously people were expecting us to do a lot better than we did, and there was a lot. We got a lot of 3-4s in the other direction. I think we went second day. We won the first 2 rounds, and then we won the second round against Switzerland on the second day. Apart from that, we got beaten. But of our losses, I think 5 of them or 6 of them were 3-4s in the other direction, and it really did feel like in so many situations that we could have very easily have just pulled that back if we were having like a normal day. And yeah, it definitely felt like mostly the plan was sound, right? It wasn't as if we'd made some massive errors in list choices, in everything else. But I think there was definitely a case of we went into the day and we just weren't playing as we could have. Also, I asked a couple of players to play lists that they maybe weren't as comfortable with as they could have been, and that has an effect because you're changing your list relatively before the tournament. I was expecting to be able to do it. Unfortunately, certainly for myself, changing the list was probably not the best idea. Maybe I should have stuck with the Republic, but hey, who knows? Yeah, England and Germany had a really good start and then just tanked it.
Yeah,
And
we started 3-0, right? We won against Singapore, number 3 on the list,
yeah,
against Ireland and England, and we felt pretty good. And then we started to lose 6 in a row across the 2 days.
Yeah.
And I actually have no idea what happened.
and I know
that's actually a horrifically painful run.
Yeah, this was like just losing streak, and I know like
hurts.
after like the third of these losses, we were just mentally broken. Like the last games, we were just like suiciding
thing
into
is-
the enemy.
I know we beat Switzerland. I don't know who the other team we beat is.
I can find out for you if you want.
Yeah, let's check.
Oh, wasn't it USA?
Oh,
No, because I don't owe everybody pints, so it wasn't them.
So let's go through Ireland's rounds because why not?
We
So
beat Switzerland.
round 1 was a good round for England.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
But
this game I played all day, a narrow loss to Tom Reed.
yeah, that was
And then it
I wish I
went
could have watched
to
that.
shit.
So Ireland, Germany, round 2. England, Germany, again 3-4. That one hurt.
Super close, super close.
Yeah. That was a really good game. That I'm going to enjoy going back over that game with Funwalk actually because I think we both played that pretty well.
Just skip on.
Ireland, USA 2-5.
No, it's not Ireland. The
Did you
USA,
beat-
Ireland,
did you
USA
beat
dead
Peru?
last.
Was it Peru?
Yeah, it was Peru. It was Peru actually.
Hey,
It
my
was
second, my second favorite team in this event.
There we go.
Here it is.
4-3 Peru.
Well,
Well,
as I
right?
say-
I think it was
as I
like
put
half
up,
of
it
Peru
was-
at the time.
Was very popularly taken. The nicest fucking guys in the XTC. by a
Yeah,
million
Peru.
miles.
Mhm.
Peru are awesome. And what I'm a little bit curious about, 1 second. Oh, that would have been no. Okay, that's fine. I was going to say if Peru had flipped it the other way, they would have still come fourth.
Not
That's-
enough wins.
34. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, oh yeah, that's a good point. It is worth mentioning that we did have to sub out a player. So we didn't have.
That's because he didn't want to play though. He couldn't.
No, he had a wedding to go
Pressure,
to.
right?
He had a wedding to go
That's
to.
what I'd-
He-
that's
He's
what I'd
also
say.
Not-
in
not
the
his
chat,
wedding,
as is Gary
But,
Colton.
yeah.
I know.
But in terms of in terms of countries, obviously England didn't do as well as we wanted to, but played a lot of good games. And shout out once again to the team because even Ashok, our other sub. So Tim subbed in for the finals, and Ashok even ended up playing a game when Julian couldn't play the last game of day 1. So everyone on Team England ended up with a game over the course of the entire XDC. So really good.
Brief stop. Raviolo DR. We have repeatedly said throughout this series that South America has ton of good players.
Yeah.
The point we're trying to make is they were lovely human beings.
They were so happy,
Not
like
good.
playing, right?
They
Like,
were just
super
lovely,
happy. Mhm.
lovely people. I had the
You're
choice
very
of Colombia
pro
and Peru, and they were fabulous to play against.
Yeah. I played.
Good players and just nice.
Yeah, we played Peru round 4 when it was like horrendous o'clock in the morning for them, and super friendly. super friendly. Okay, so moving on. Funwalk, how do you feel about Germany's run? Apart, like obviously it was painful, but yeah.
It was painful, and actually I really don't know what happened. Like, if you look at the MOV of the whole tournament, right?
Oh god,
Team
yeah.
Germany is actually
Won.
first above all teams with MOV only, and that is with 3 wins only and 6 losses. Like, the games we won were like very convincing, and the games we lost were like super close always. And I just cannot believe it that all the games we lost barely were just like razor slim margins, you know, right? It's like how I don't want to say unlucky, right? But how can it happen that we lose every single game, 3 and 4, except for one, and with us like so close? Like
Yeah.
it was just so mentally training, and I know like in the last games we just couldn't play well anymore. Like it
I'm
was
not
just
saying
like,
you
super
let us
broken.
down, but you let us down.
We kind of did, and the thing is, like, I had some of my best games in X-Wing forever, and we lost every single one of these rounds. So I was telling my captain, like, you're wasting peak Funwalk, man. What
Peak
are you
Funwalk.
doing?
Peak Funwalk is in bad company tonight.
Mhm.
Okay.
No, it was like, I don't know, like, it was just rough because, like, after the first couple of losses, we were like, come on, we still can do it, right? Like, we just have to win the other ones. But then the losses piled on, one after another.
Yeah.
And that's just, like, so mentally draining and
It really
destroying
hurts.
the morale, right?
It
So,
really
yeah,
hurts. I mean, all
NY
three of us. Do you mind if I address this one, Connor?
My bad.
No, no worries. I was just about to jump on it anyway. I think this is a really, really interesting point here. Like, aren't we always supposed to be friendly when you play? Absolutely. And X-Wing as a game is one where so many players are really friendly. However, when you're playing at the top, and like these games were ridiculous. Like the level of play that was displayed at the XTC was incredible. It was really, really good. And you are going to get serious business games, if that makes sense. Like, people are not giving each other like the standard, oh, you forgot an action. Okay, because you know the rules. You shouldn't be forgetting actions. You shouldn't be forgetting triggers. If you forget a trigger, my bad. I forgot that. That could lose me the game, and because that's the margins that we're playing with. That's not what we're talking about when we say Peru are lovely people. They are just so friendly. They're playing at like 2 a.m. their time, and they're just having a laugh, like having a chuckle with you. They were really. It was just really, really nice to talk to them. They didn't go in with a mentality of, oh god, this is super serious, we've got to play. They were just like having a laugh as if you're playing at the kitchen table. It was great. So yeah, that's. I don't know if Connor, that was
Yeah, pretty much
your
that.
opinion.
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
They were just nice. They lost really well,
Yes.
having been kicking ass the whole way through to a team that was not expected to come out of the bottom 5.
Yeah, and as Ravioli was saying, like we've been playing this tournament for like 3 months at this point. If it's not going well, it's quite hard to keep your
Holy
spirits up.
shit! I don't think I've ever played anything like the XTC.
This is not normal. Like that. So what normally happens
Same.
is, you know, like the finals where you had like that 3-4 weeks of prep, and then into the event. That's normally what the XTC is. However, we had the 2 months of group stages tagged on the front end of it. It just felt like burnout.
It was 3 months,
Yeah, it was.
but you weren't just playing. I mean, if you
Just-
rewind back to our previous one, Ireland were behind. We had to win 2 power matches to make the finals. The effort that went into that,
Yeah.
and then by the time we got in, it's like everybody just was like fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Now 3 or 4 guys in my team really stepped it up beyond stepping it up. Like they already stepped up and they stepped over putting the time in.
Yeah.
But there was a general feeling of, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, does this thing fucking end?
Yeah, and I wasn't kidding when I've said on a few occasions it became a second job, and I think as we're kind of on the topic, it's a good opportunity to address it. I think it's been a mistake to run it in this way. I think it was too long, and I think for me as a player, I can't speak for the rest of my team, but it kind of felt that way. By the time we got to finals, we were just tired of it, and we didn't put in, like, if we'd have just gone into finals as if it was the first tournament, we would have put in loads of practice time. We would have played like loads and loads and loads of games and been ready for everything. and we just didn't have the energy to do it when we got to that point. It was just like, oh, we've been playing these lists for so long, or like, oh, I've got a new list. Okay, I'll play 2 practice games a week with it, as opposed to no, I'm going to play 2 games a day every day, which is probably what I would have done if for 2 weeks leading up.
I think we
it was
need
a
to
standard
steal
tournament.
from. Actually, ironically, following our last, I think we need to steal from League of Legends. And Toby's point, I think content of the group stages probably makes more sense.
I agree, and there was talk. I know Pifo was talking about the Champions Cup essentially, or the Champions League, where you take, say for example, you take the top 2 from each individual league, and you put them into a finals. I think that'd be cool. But you could run that weekly. You don't have to do a weekend. You could have we're going to run a 5-week group for your area. And then we're going to leave it a month, and then we're going to run another 5-week group for the finals. Or I don't know, you can do stuff. But yeah, it was
either refine it or expand it. And Asinus, this is not a series of excuses. It's just the fact that it got too much.
Yeah, you're absolutely
There's
right.
a lot of subs being played in the last weekend.
Yeah, every team had to endure the same fatigue. And actually, that's a very good point. Italy, Singapore, and USA, and Peru used their subs very effectively. That's something I'd completely forgotten about.
In fairness, so did we, especially in the group stages. Our subs kicked ass. They came in and won everything.
Yes. But I think in terms of how they played, because like Peru, their sub was, for both Peru and Singapore, one of their subs was just doing the pairings. And I think that's a mistake that I made, that in the future, I didn't expect the online version to be as taxing as it was, because I've been both captain and pairings master in the in-person event, and it was fine. But online was just rough. But yes. Okay. Moving back to things, I was really impressed by France's nonsense. France came up with some proper nonsense and took some names.
How did Spain do, by the way, with their list that said they did better than we did, which they did? What did the proper Decimator Sunter thing do?
Let me check it up. I'm pretty sure it did kind of well, actually.
So let's I can get this on here. There we go. So final stage. Let's go have a look at individual players, shall we? Because I don't think it's normally I wouldn't, but the Decimator list is fun. So
well, they had a go at me.
Let's do it for Star and Galactic Empire.
Shit.
Yeah.
There we go. So 3. He only beat me by 1 game. That's annoying.
No, he's Galactic Empire, not Republic.
Oh, sorry. It's 4 and 5.
Yeah, by 2 games actually.
Beat me by 2
Holy
games.
crap! He went 4-5 with that shit.
Yeah,
He
4-5.
did a lot better than every one of us expected.
So he played 1 second. What did he play against?
Desi.
So he oh god. So he played against the Rebel 6 ship with tracers and X-wings. Played against our First Order, got beaten by our First Order by Kez. That was like mini swarm.
Just pause. What was Kez's overall run on this? Is it like 15-2 or something ridiculous?
It's pretty good. Kez is incredible.
Or
And
16-2?
no one understands how to play that list. Oh wow, smashed. Oh yeah, so Brobots, you expect him to win that game because his list.
I don't know
is...
what our captain did with that, right? Like 2 ships against 2 ships.
Yeah.
Like why? After the match,
Teemo
was
can
like,
beat anything! Teemo can beat anything!
maybe it was the bus match, right? Because
That's
I got a
the
pretty good
bus
matchup against Spain.
Yeah,
That was probably the bus match.
yeah, that's the bus match. Teemo does not want that game ever.
Yeah.
Empire versus. Oh, interesting. He won. He was winning at the tail end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So he beat USA. Oh no, he lost to USA Scum. Beat Ireland Rebels. Yeah, that's what was your Rebels, Connor? Oh, that's the Falcon. Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, Han. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
and
our
the
Rebels
Ewing.
changed a lot. It ended up with Han.
Yeah. So turns out if you put the Decimator Suntir into a 2-ship or a 3-ship list, it will eat it. Good job on Spain for getting those pairings.
Little thing though, right? Like our Timo, he is complaining about luck all the time, but this time he was seriously unlucky. Like in the Decimator game, which is a hard matchup for him, right? But he can win that.
Yeah.
He caught Suntir in range one time, and Suntir tried to go for the bullseye and missed his bullseye. So Suntir was stressed without any tokens and actions. Range 1 of a probot and range 2 of another one. And all he took was like, I think 1 damage or so, and put 3 damage in return. Like, that was like serious. This could have been the game ender already, right?
That's
Those
Suntir,
two those
though.
things, right?
Well,
Sometimes he
Timo
does
also,
that.
we should say, had his like return to grace by top 16ing this weekend and then dropping.
Yeah. the old classic.
Timo, like me, was determined to prove we weren't completely fucking useless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm just done with weekend TTS events. I'm fine playing one game, but I really struggle with I really struggle with a full weekend. I just can't focus in the same way that I would a normal tournament.
It's a
No.
3-shower and a 2-mile walk in your lunch break, dude.
It's hard, but I enjoy it because I can get a lot of X-Wing games in a short time, which I usually don't get. And
And
I do pretty
eventually
well
you-
in weekends. I do pretty well.
Eventually, you start playing the same people over and over again, which is fun.
Mhm.
Especially these super quiet, dour, and serious Americans. They're my favorite.
Haha.
So if I can just jump in on this one as well, I tend to shy away from 1-day events or 2-day events online because I'd rather just go for a walk. It hasn't got the same atmosphere, so it just feels a lot more forced and a lot more draining. So whenever things even go slightly south, I'm just like, yeah, I'll just go do something else. And so my mind's not in it completely. the
Liam, you
start.
just need to drink more from the start of the event. Or as one
Okay.
player said to me at 9:30 a.m., "Oh shit, I'm already high. It's going to be a long day."
Oh, that's amazing.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, so one thing that I do want to do here is because I'm going to preface this with individual records in the XTC is normally a bad idea to look at. It is normally a
Don't
bad
do
idea
it.
to look at because of the fact that like you don't know what's happening with pairings and everything else. Like maybe a list is like the prey list that just gets paired into stuff that it batters all day. But I do want to shout out a couple of people. I want to shout out Marcel, and I'm going to be nice to America for once. Because
I'm not going to be nice to America,
He was the
but I will
captain, right?
congratulate
he
him
was
for
the
making that.
captain, though. Giving
get
himself
he
good
he was
matchups.
but he didn't give himself. He paired himself into me, right?
Okay.
He paired himself
Uh,
into hard counter outmaneuver Poe. Admittedly, I tried to fly an A-wing off a table. Don't do that.
Yeah.
And he let me put it back on and still beat me. But yeah, in terms of that, he played a really good game, and it's not an easy list for him to fly. It's two regen Naboos and Eater Obi-Wan. Yes.
It's true.
Did North Mexico do their actual pairings, or did they get another person in to do it for them?
One of their subs did the pairings for them, which was a really good idea
Yeah.
considering they had to wake up at 3 a.m.
Yep.
So it was not Marcel doing the pairings; it was another player doing their own pairings.
Which is just smart, right? Like, can't fault him for that.
Yeah.
And you have to look at the score, right? Marcel, the whole weekend for the finals. The only single points he lost were 35, 69. Every other game, he won with like something to 0. Like, how ridiculous is that?
Regen Naboo. I am proud that I killed his Obi-Wan. I almost beat him. It was very, very close. He killed my 2 A-wings, and Poe was basically untouched. So we traded A-wings for Obi, and then it was just a case of chasing Naboos around for about 15 minutes. But yeah, so also this. Now,
Nicolas, our good friend.
Mr. Durand subbed in for the final, took what I thought was nonsense, and he was never going to make it work. Turns out there was enough beef in the final, and he murdered a lot of things.
What did he take again?
Let me show you the list because it is amazing. And let's tell you what. Let's put the.
I mean, it was not even
spreadsheet
like
of Doom on there. Why
so
not?
strange, right? Like Scumjank, like Fabi and Boss Nicolas brought it to the finals and did well.
Right, where are we? Scum, this one. Yeah, exactly. So this was the list. This was the list. So we had
Oh God.
Jostero with Deadmans, who can trigger himself.
Yes.
We have Tyranny with the clusters, the contrabands, and the wrecked. So he's double tapping and just doing 2 damage. We've got Zuvio with prox mines and contrabands, so he
Yep.
can reverse drop prox mines. He can do whatever he likes. Gargoyle for the extra damage, and
Yep.
Hondo. Hondo
Hondo in the finals. Ecstasy Hondo.
Yep,
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
nonsense. Fair play.
I mean, Hondo in this actually works. It completely works because the whole idea is that you're making sure that things die to auto damage. So you just jam off whatever focus token and then like double tap it with Tyranny. So it makes sense. Also, Lando being initiative 4 in an escape craft, you're very likely to be able to pick on the thing that you've got in Bullseye with Tyranny. It's very cool. I really like the interactions. I am slightly concerned that 2.0 is getting to the point that we can do this. Like if you have a look at the nonsense combo wombos that you can get at the moment. So, yes.
I mean, is that more of a scum thing where you're allowed to do that though? That's kind of their thing.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
exactly.
Let's
But
get some random crap, stick it together.
you are getting some of those. But like the scum like FTC Jabba stuff as well. Ugh.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't think that was intended to be as strong as it is, and I can't see it staying around.
For the next 2 or 3 days, in fact.
Yes, I feel like someone's going to get a big hammer and they're going to hit it repeatedly.
It's called persuasion tool around here, or a screwdriver in Birmingham.
Yes.
Or flirting, in fact.
Yeah. And yeah, I am looking professional because I have actually, after finally having a massive summer off, I am now back at work dealing with the small kiddies. So, you know, they are very
And
annoying.
Subhedgehog says, I think he's on a bike seat as well.
And
It's just his great posture,
that's why I
though.
tilted the camera. See? The bike's just sitting there.
It's really sporty, right? Like, come on.
I've got a
Hey,
computer
Nobby,
chair.
I said nice things about you on my last stream of the evening.
Yeah. So,
Hey, Nobby.
Nobby posts his stuff.
yeah,
Nobby
shout
says he's going to
out.
post you something. Nobby posts you it.
Yes. Shout out to France. France, you did a lot better than I expected you to do. Did they? 4-5? Probably about as well as I expected you to do. But I was very impressed with how the janky lists operated, and I think they did really well. Cool. So, moving on, I think Spain and France are in a very similar position. I think, and actually there's an argument that, okay, I think these four, and I'm gonna lump us in with this actually. I think that all four of those teams got the meta call wrong. I think
What did we do wrong? Tell us.
so. There's a couple of things I was thinking about this as you do after you get blasted in a tournament, and I think that if you have a look at a lot of the things that Italy, Singapore, Peru, etc. took, and there is a couple of examples, a couple of exceptions to that rule, like for example Peru's Empire Aces, or XY's nonsense Republic list. But in general, if you have a look at these, it is beef, 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 and beef. It is stuff that you don't have to think about. You fly it forwards towards your opponent and you wait for them to make a mistake. And it worked really, really well. And when you put a good player behind that tactic, which all of those teams have really good players, you don't need to skill check someone when you're just doing the correct thing every turn and your opponent has to fly a perfect game. Because they won't. And yeah, like I think generally, I think USA is a bit of an exception there. But I think certainly for Italy, Peru, and Singapore, they switched over to quite a bit of beef. And
I think
yeah,
it wasn't just a meta call; it was a situation call as well. Because when you've got to play 9 games over 2 days, you don't want to be using all your brain power in 2 to 3 games with aces or something. So
yeah,
doing this gives you the best chance of prolonging your
yes,
performance.
and I think
Their
that's
Viagra lists.
and I think that's the thing. That was what I was thinking about after I had a look at that and gone, okay, well, what was the thing that we did wrong, right? Because you go, okay, there's always got to be a reason that you effed up. So, and yeah, I think that would be my thing, is that the meta has been shifting away from full swarm into general beef, and I think certainly in a 2-day online event, as you're saying, it's a really, really good idea to fly stuff that it's not too taxing.
Point of order. What
Mhm.
did Italy and the USA bring again?
Let me run you through because I've got it here.
Because there's aces in there.
There is aces in there. I'm not saying everything.
I'm just saying the guys that got bunked are the guys that did well versus the two guys that weren't finished first and second.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There's aces in there.
Yeah, there are. Right.
That can be countered with getting the right matchups and stuff. So if you've got
This
Yeah, the
As
point is they
you say.
didn't just throw beef at the list. They came and win.
no,
joust things. That one's a AC list, but can also joust things. Yeah, to be like, this is where I said USA is the exception, right?
Yeah, but also Italy.
Where's Italy? There's Italy.
I mean, that's,
Usually at the Empire Aces, right? But what
I
other
mean,
aces
FO
do you
is
bring?
pretty much the purest ace.
This one jousts
Yes.
things.
Oh yeah.
This
yeah.
one jousts things. This one jousts things. This one jousts things. Republic isn't, and Django Zam is Django Zam.
Which is an ace list.
Yes, but it's
the
an ace
Django
list.
Zam, right?
It's
It's
an
a
ace
double
list you
fire
can make
spray list.
mistakes with.
Vader, Echo Inky, Obi, Mace, Django Zam.
Yeah, this one and that one are ace lists. But also there is a fair bit of beef.
Well, Lando Bosca Sage is an ace slayer. And it has a good game against everything. So it should have been auto-include.
Yeah, I would also really like to find out Tommaso Loss, because I had a chat with Marco, the Italian captain. Tommaso Loss is he rated the Lando Bosca Sage as a 1 out of 5, and then beat it 3 times over that weekend. Yeah, he got paired into it 3 times. After the first one, he went, "Oh, maybe I should do this." So there we go. I'm curious to see what he thinks of that matchup. So
yeah. Looking
I
at
think
that,
Tommaso's
list,
in the chat,
I'd
right?
an auto loss.
Tommaso, are you in the chat?
if he's in the chat, like, you know. Alrighty.
Yeah, cool. You in the chat is Tommaso, right? He's saying he did not face it. Actually, Lolly, you're lying to
Oh,
us.
who was it?
Come
So
on.
who was it then that played? Because there was a Whisper player or so it might be a Neko. It was an Imperial Aces player that played 3 of them and beat every single one of them. I thought it was Italy. At this point, it was basically a blur. It might be in Peru's, maybe.
But say Peru tells me where you go for ace wins.
Or no.
Could have been Peru,
France.
right? I think they're on a very similar list.
More
Is it-
patience than I
We
know.
played it on day 2, so maybe Spain. No, don't
Zima's
know.
saying France, maybe.
Who knows? Yeah, probably France. Yeah, credit to France.
Or
Credit to
Corentin, who is also one of the runner-ups of the most
Ah.
handsome XTC players.
What's
in the
new?
poll.
I'm always upsetting Team Italy. It's fine. They can take it. They won. So,
Yeah, let's go with Peru. Like,
right then,
how did they do that? Right, that's like the biggest disadvantage ever
Yeah,
together
credit.
with the USA.
Peru
Like with super bad times to play.
Peru did real good. Right,
Mhm.
where are we? Final stage. Final
Peru
stage.
powered their way through using positive vibes and good player ability.
I think so. I think it was just like the positive energy giving you the wins.
I'm actually kind of sad we beat them now.
So USA 4-3 against Peru. Italy got beaten by Peru. That was one of Italy's losses.
Mm-hmm.
Peru got beaten by Spain.
And us.
So they
And
lost
Ireland,
to the
yeah.
USA, Ireland, and Spain, and then they beat everyone else. Peru
You,
were the
you
Giant
can't
Slayers.
explain XTC, man. You can't explain it.
Peru were the Giant Slayers. 4-3 against England. 5-2 against Switzerland. 4-3 against Singapore. Oh, did they 4-3 everything?
Yeah,
Yep.
pretty much, right?
3-4 Ireland.
It's all you need to do. It's all you need to do.
3-4. Yeah, 3-4 Germany. 4-3 France. Jesus, there was only one game for the entire weekend. They didn't go 4-3, which was against Switzerland. Damn. Like Peru must
This
have just been
is
in
the
permanent
finals,
state of
Ollie.
stress.
I mean,
Yeah,
have a look through that and see how many 3-4s there are.
there is quite a lot to be fair. There is a lot
Round
of
one.
3-4s.
5-2s and 3-4s, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, we weren't expecting. We weren't
Is
expecting.
there a single 7-0?
No 7-0s.
No, there was a 6-1. I think there's a
Yeah.
couple of 6-1s.
There's a 6-1 there.
And most likely
Singapore.
against Switzerland, right? Like a rough weekend for them.
Yeah. Also, like at the tail end of it, they're feeling pretty beaten up.
I mean, they did 1-1 round, right? And do you guess against whom did they won the one single XSC finals round? It was us.
It was.
It had to be us. Like, we are friends with the Swiss guys, right? We see them on tournaments and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So before the tournament, they ask us, we're gonna probably lose a lot of games, but which games do you guys need for us to win to make it more successful for Germany?
Yeah.
And we told them, you need to win everything except for us, right? That was the plan in the beginning.
Topsy
And they did the exact opposite, which is
Yeah.
just too funny.
We're fine. Nobby, quick
Absolutely.
shout out. TMT literally said in a chat this weekend, I've made my first cut ever. TMT flew solely across the board for Singapore.
Yeah, he did. He
But
really
I've
did.
played TMT. I played TMT in Khyber, and he was one of my favourite opponents. Such a lovely guy.
But to come out with the phrase, this is my first cut ever, I nearly had a fucking heart attack.
But to be, and this is where I ate a bit more of the humble pie, because for Peru and Singapore, I've been saying this for months, that I don't know if Peru and Singapore can stand up in this environment, and they've got annoying time differences, and like we don't know how good like their 4, 5, 6 players are. Good job, really good job, Peru and Singapore. And I'm very, very glad that you guys put in a good showing. I'm really glad that X-Wing is all around the world played at a fantastic level. So, good job, you guys. You should be proud of yourselves. Because they really pushed it. I mean, Singapore, as you can see, could have won.
So could Peru.
Yeah.
But the reality is, the top 4 are damn close.
Mm-hmm. Look at the
Then
individual
there's a
wins, right?
drop. Then there's a
34 to 38. That's like 4 wins between the top teams.
Yeah.
Like, this is
That's the
ridiculously
thing.
close.
Like, if there was 1-4-3 another way, USA are
Yeah.
down in 4th.
Mm-hmm.
There's big changes. And yeah, it could have, like we said at the start that it was going to come down to tight at the top. And it was very tight at the top.
You guys were just meant to be there.
Yeah, we had a bad day.
Right. I have a little fan fact here about Team Spain, by the way, because I'm checking the individual scores right now.
Yep.
Team Spain is the most average XTC team ever, because the best player in XTC is 5 and 4, and the worst player is 3 and 6. Like, there was no big outlier for the whole team. They just played average and got the average 5 and 4 standing at the 5th place. Like, like that was planned, Spain. Nicely done.
Sorry, Apostasis, I love Darren's accent. Who the fuck is Darren?
Darren Granger.
Darren Granger, he was
Well, okay, who doesn't
commentating
love that?
Fearless Conduct.
I thought it was one of the 4 of us.
I need to do a shout out to Nobby as well, because I was supposed to commentate with him on day 2, but I had some stuff come up, which means I was not in a good place to do it.
Yeah.
So I've let him down, and I will make it up to you.
And also, shout out to Isidore. Yeah, they lost to ESA by final salvo. Because it was 4-3 to USA, and it came down to a salvo in one of the games.
I do
Yeah, so
hate.
what we're saying is
hate the
USA
concept of Valsalvo.
Are we saying that North Mexico, South Canada, USA, whatever you want to call it, ex-Mexico, don't deserve
I
to be
thought it was
second?
East Puerto Rico.
I was second that.
The
Oh,
better
it's
Puerto Rico.
communist Puerto Rico.
Oh dear. I'm going to stay quiet unless I get shouted at for my South American geography again.
Oh, Americans aren't on anymore.
Nah, they're around. There's a couple. Right, where are we at?
Just got Peru, so we're in the top 3 already.
Yes.
I did the prediction game for XTC, right? Let me check the standings, but I think only from 150 people around who played the game, only like 5 got the top 3 standings, right?
I'm happy that I got 2 out of the top 3.
Andreas, you're not really American.
You got one, didn't you, Ollie?
No,
I got one.
I picked USA and I picked Italy.
Let me check.
I picked Singapore.
I picked Singapore
picked-
too. I got one.
Italy, Spain, and UK. Well, England.
Yeah, stop saying UK, you ball bags. There are 4 teams.
Yeah, there are 4 teams. We're cheating. It's fine. It's FIFA rules.
Yeah.
It's allowed.
Do what we want. We're England.
Okay, a Lionheart.
We'll invade your ass.
I find the attempt at trash talk funny. We're not here to trash talk. If you want to hear trash talk, go listen to GSP. They've been on
Or
it for
just
the
call
last
me
2 weeks.
directly.
Yeah, obviously it's
Call
on
me directly,
YouTube,
I'll
but you
talk
have to pay a $5.
There we go. There's the trash talk. Ah, dear. But yeah, I think so. In top 3 teams, what's been fun, and this is what I love about the XTC, is if you have a look at who beat who. So, Italy got beaten by Peru, and they got beaten by Singapore. And shout out to Singapore. Singapore beat the USA and they beat Italy, but they, technically came 3rd. So, stings a little bit.
So we did say there'd be no 8-1s.
Yep.
And a 7-2 would win it. I called. Did I call? I think I called earlier
I went,
on. Then
I went for
changed it to
6-3. I didn't
6-3.
think it was going to be
You
that.
did?
I went for
Yeah.
6-3. You guys went for 7-2s.
But we got multiple 7-2s. Yeah, that's probably because of ourselves. England, Germany, Ireland.
Yes.
What I
Uh,
do need to ask is, Ollie, obviously we made this bet.
yes,
We drew.
we did.
So, do
I
we
mean,
do
I
the
feel like we're
forfeit
just
or do
both
we not do the
doing
forfeit?
shots at this point. So Connor lost.
In every single way that word applies.
Yeah. But I think,
Uh,
I mean,
Sorry, are you saying joint win?
I don't. Can you joint win, or does
I don't
everyone just
fucking-
get to do shots?
When it comes to alcohol, absolutely not. The only winner is the
When it
Guinness
comes
family.
When it comes to some mixes, there's no getting to do
There
it.
is no
it's more
fucking way I'm
have to
doing a
do it.
cement mix. You can just shove it up your hole.
Not
tell you
with that
what.
attitude.
I'll tell you what. We'll do real shots with like proofs as opposed to some sort of goddamn cream nonsense.
I'm up for that.
Boy.
I'm up for that. I'm looking forward to this Saturday. It's going to be fun. Technically, we're not allowed to talk about it, so I'm looking forward to this Saturday. I'm going to go drinking with Liam. Yeah.
And
Yes.
Yeah, you're there too.
oh yeah, fuck you. You're
I'm
drinking
trying
with
to,
Liam.
I'm trying to
Oh,
keep it
Connor,
quiet.
it's a handbag.
I'm trying to keep it quiet. It's fine.
There is
Um,
nothing happening. I'm just going to go over and see my boys.
I mean, also true. We get to have a fun time and all the drinks. Fun what was meant to be coming. Sad.
But he
I
sucks.
can't. I have to work. I have to
You
actually
suck.
make money
You
to live.
literally suck.
I know. It's life.
You built this all up, and I mean, Liam
I was-
cried
I-
on the
I was-
phone to me, man.
Like half the
Right.
time when I built that up, I was quite drunk. So.
Like 3 hours of tears down the
No,
phone
no.
to me.
Oh
And
no.
what?
Yeah.
For this, I hope you do a full day of pictures and realise you forgot to take your lens cap off.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that will maybe happen sometime in the future. But
Don't.
I will make it up with you guys, right? The next time I'm in the UK.
The next
gonna
time,
bring-
me, Ollie, and Liam are going to come, and we're going to literally stage dive every photograph you take at a fucking wedding.
Nah.
It's okay. It's
we're
fine.
just
It's like
we're just gonna come
entertaining.
and we're just gonna come find a German tournament. I basically didn't see any of Hanover when I went over for the Hanover Open, so I'd like to go to another German event and actually have a look around.
Hanover's actually like quite nice as a German city. Like I know good spots there. I know good spots.
Yes.
I went
So-
to Munich on a stag, and it's one of my favourite cities ever.
Yeah, Munich is like better than Hanover. Like I have to accept that. I was born in Hanover, but Munich is just flat out better. So if we get like another tournament in Munich, man, I can secure you some spots.
So going back to the top 3. These teams, they did real good, and Italy is the winner on points. Very, very, very close, and as you say, a couple of games either way. It could have gone either way. And yeah, I think like really all round, a very, very well played tournament by all 3 of those teams, and also Italy played like they went and rented a house for most of their team.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they end up
Yeah.
with judge call on the back of that.
It's
Like the
Really?
next round, my opponent went, "You're going to hear lots of people in the background. We're not cheating." I'm like, okay, I get that.
Yeah.
Just lots of Italian voices in a small place. That be not scat.
yeah.
Yeah, I was still feeling like I could like listen to 3 other games of my teammates in the
See,
background. But it was
I-
fine. Like I was started to hum
Yeah.
and sing myself to get distracted, so I think it was fair.
I got the one guy who was on his own in his house. It was fun though.
Did anybody else? Like, I'm gonna ask a question. Isidora asked a question about that. Did anybody else play the guy from Brazil who has the dog that's the size of a war pig? That's his baby that snores beside him and sounds like a pneumatic drill going into the side of your face. It's
From-
literally the whole way through the game. He's like, "Yeah, that's my baby." He's like, picture? It's like this giant fucking bull mastiff.
From Brazil or from where?
Yeah, Brazilian guy,
Reviolo as well.
huge.
Okay, can someone send me a picture of that dog, please?
I've got a feeling this guy. Like, it's a wonderful situation, but I've got to remember his name, and I'll send it through. Zedior has asked, "What is your favorite custom ships?" I'm going to do a very quick answer for the group stages. South Africa, but they've got the advantage that their flag looks amazing to begin with.
That's true.
That's true.
Unlike England, whose flag looks like shit.
I mean, you're not wrong. I like the Union
I mean-
flag.
Gary
the-
Colton did his like fire sprays in a Northern Irish flag and an Irish flag, and they looked amazing.
Yes.
But other than that, South Africa is just a
the
class.
Irish ships were just incredible. Like, you guys did such a good job. I mean, Kez,
Gary
shout
Colton
out to
did
Kez for
such a
doing
good
it,
job.
but yeah, also the Irish ships. My God.
When it comes
Ollie.
to custom ships, you also have to shout out Peru, right? Like the separatist player, Juan Carlos,
Yeah.
with the little army soldiers and the bazooka
Yeah, they're
for
class.
the bombers and drones. Like, come on, that was awesome.
Yes, Liam?
Ollie, your droid swarm, they all look like they were wearing red dungarees.
I will
and
tell
I couldn't
Dom.
stop thinking about it, and it ruined it for me.
Our flag looks so good. We spent 300 years putting on everybody else's flag.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I mean, it hurts deeply, and my ancestors are crying, but it's still funny.
Jesus. Yeah, Peru's cool. I mean, I'm fairly sure Lloyd just murdered a good percentage of the chat there. Oh dear. I didn't get to see the I was getting beaten up by Arcs. I didn't get to see that. The one thing that I would like to mention though, is I think that there could have been a better streaming policy for the tournament. I really like the way it was done with the streaming. I just felt it really, as a captain, it was really frustrating having to decide to put one of my players on stream every round. So this is why I went on stream 8 out of 9 rounds. But yeah, so if anyone was wondering why I was just constantly on stream all day, it's because I didn't want to put one of my players on stream when they're already having a bit of a bad day. And it's
You need
just,
something like somebody like me in your team, right? Like a Funwalk who is like constantly on stream,
yeah,
winning and losing. So I'm used to it. So I
Yeah.
was, I think, 6 times out of 9 on stream,
yeah.
and I'm just used to it, right? Like I don't care.
It's a similar thing. Like at this point, I just end up getting put on stream quite a lot, so it doesn't matter at this point.
Well,
You could have,
I mean,
taken a Liam.
clearly the face of X-Wing. I mean, can you imagine anybody else sexier than that man right there? Well, bar Funwalk, but we can only imagine him because he won't put his picture up.
Next time.
I need
then
to
there's-
reach through the wall and touch him. Like,
And then there's Liam. It's not often I'm in a room with 4 people where I'm probably not the prettiest. I might even be 4th. This sucks.
But it teaches
I'm the
you,
heaviest.
Sure,
it
Marius.
teaches you the lesson, right? Like in humility.
I know, right? I never really learned that lesson, to be
Yeah.
fair, but you know,
I mean,
I'm
order
not dead yet.
order in advance, fine. But I'd like, this is the thing: if someone is having a bad day and they're going like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
they're not going on.
it's your turn to go on stream," yeah, a lot of people don't like going on stream. So
I won't lie to you, XY. I've never not said I'll go on stream. At game 5, I was like, there's no fucking chance.
Mm.
I am in a spiral of doom.
Yeah.
I'm not going on.
But also, shout out to the streamers, because I know I went on X-Wing Debrief twice, Le Chatelier twice, and another one 3 times because they just kept on coming up. So I'm glad that you guys were fine with I'm glad that you guys were fine with me just being constantly on stream and getting blasted with Poe. So there we go.
I would also like to point out in relation to the streamers topic is that I know GSP do a good job, but again, it is really nice having an equal selection of different streamers being given the spotlight and them all smash it out the park.
There is a big difference between the guys that do it professionally for a living and the guys that do it as a hobby. Guys who do it as a hobby do a really good job, but you've got Hexel and you've got GSP that literally that's what they do. You expect higher production values, and you get higher.
But I don't think there was a. I don't think there was a bad stream at all.
No. It was
No.
just different.
Different.
But I have to give props to X-Wing Debrief also. Like, I was rewatching a couple of my games on them, and they did a very good job of, like, really talking about, like, board control, about zone control, which you usually don't hear from
Debrief
other
is one of my
streams.
favorite
I won't-
streams for
I won't
analytics.
know which one it was, but there was nearly one left because the lag was so bad you couldn't sit down.
Yeah, that was which one was
Again,
that?
happy not to mention who it was.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But it was bad.
I can look it up, but I'm not going to.
Oh, I know. I remember it was. I just don't want to say it. But
Oh, no,
It-
Judy, where's Polish team?
Yeah, at least to be fair, Funwalk,
Yeah,
we did better than Poland.
we did better than Poland. Everybody can
oh
say
yeah,
that.
sorry. Hang on. I can say that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell,
right.
Liam could say that. He went on.
You
To
say that, right?
Although what is also worth mentioning as we shit on Poland is Italy came first and Singapore came third.
Yeah, they
Which-
were in the group of death actually in the end.
Yeah, so it turns out Poland did pretty well.
I mean, everybody in Group A did pretty well. Like,
Yes.
right? Even Norway, who were like the big showstopper.
sorry, we're gonna go back to the original conversation we ever had about the group of death. I think we should run that down. So England and Ireland were Group C. We were the top seeds going in.
Yep.
We are the top seeds coming out. We're 8th and 9th.
Yeah.
We can be removed from the conversation.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I don't think ours was ever in the conversation for the group of death.
Yeah, so it's out.
Yeah.
Who's next? France and Switzerland?
Well,
6th and
as
10th.
we have the groupie things up here.
That's got the Netherlands in it.
Whoop. Okay.
We also
so
did better than Netherlands. That's also something we have to be proud of.
because
Point
Norway
is, we
Norway
discussed
came
Group
out
B.
with the same results as Poland.
Hang on, we're going to come back to them in a second.
Okay.
Mhm.
So group B.
Because that was not where the group death was.
Group
Group
B
death
is
was not
also
A.
not the group of death.
No. Okay, so you're doing it this way down. So, Peru and Germany. Germany finished 6th,
Seventh.
7th.
Better
and Peru
than that?
finished 4th.
No, Peru was the star of the group, like 100%.
Yeah. Peru came.
Yeah, but
Peru came
they
fourth.
were. They were always.
Mm-hmm.
Fair play. I'm not watching your stream, hence why I'm poking
Yeah.
up like this.
That's
Sorry.
right. So Peru came first. Do you want me to make it bigger?
No, it's cool. Ireland, England could be avoided and ignored and moved
Yep.
on.
Group D, USA, Spain. Second
This
and
was the group
fifth.
of death. This was what we were told was the group of death.
Second and fifth.
But
That's wrong.
It was so wrong.
who the fuck was fighting them?
Well,
Right?
Sweden,
We expected Australia to do well. We
Sweden and
expected
Australia were
Sweden
meant to
do
be a lot
well.
better.
Well, yeah.
That
I
was,
mean,
that
the
was the
funny
point.
thing is, in the GSP this weekend, Australia decided to redo their XCC and put 5 players in the top 16.
Yeah, right? Like, Australia has good players and has, like, super good.
All on terrible time zones.
Yeah.
5 out of 8 mid top 16.
Yeah.
And one of them won it.
Maybe they need terrible time zones, right? Maybe, like, playing on their time is not good for them because they're still shrunk or so.
Everybody just had ground to make up this weekend. That's what the GSP event was.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What I also
Timo,
wanna,
top 16, just fixing your shit.
what
That's
I
what
also
we're
want to
doing.
do
It was.
is from a captain's perspective, I want to make a big shout out to Actor, because he has. I don't know if anyone is part of the Australian X-Wing group, but Actor put an essay on that. Basically, he has put everything on his shoulders, and he says, "Right, guys, I got it wrong this year. These are the things that I think I did well. These are the things that I think we could improve on. Apologies, and I want to do better next year, and I hope you're willing to work with me with this." And that is, it's not an easy thing to be a captain and to fall flat in your face. And Actor, yeah, he has actually done this very, very well, and I shout out to him because
Yeah, he's a guy I keep dodging, and I don't like it. I keep making cuts with the guy and not playing him. I've never spoken to Dr. Khan.
I like
I
him.
have played one game against him. He said I flew very well. He still beat me. He said I may have deserved the win, but he was still one of the nicest people I've ever played while kicking my face in. It's great.
Well, he's on my to-do list, but Australia and the GSP did what they should on the XCC. I played 2 of them, and the skill level's definitely there. Now, they play a little more militantly than I like, but the skill level's definitely there.
Shout out Nobby. He's a fluffy marshmallow. There we go. That's all that needs to be said. So yeah, I feel like France and Switzerland probably not the group of death, but then Group E was probably never. I mean, yeah.
So the group of death is. Can we now announce?
Boop.
It's 100% A.
Yeah.
In the end, yes.
It,
I mean, it's
yeah.
easier to say in
it was
hindsight.
Singapore,
Right?
fucking Italy, Poland. I said it from the bloody start. It was a group of death.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean, it
those-
is. Yeah. It is.
Like, to be
pretty
honest,
scary.
I didn't expect Norway to be like the big showstopper there. Quite honestly.
So
Yeah,
So-
but the reality is Norway had to fight through the guys that finished first and third, and the team that everyone expected to make the damn cut.
now here's what's curious. The only reason Singapore made it through is because of Norway. Right, that's doing a massive disservice to Singapore. Singapore beat Italy and Poland, right? But
Yeah, they
if
had
it had
only
just
one loss.
been Singapore beating Italy and Poland and no one else had beaten them, they would have all ended on 6-1, and actually no, sorry, apologies, because one of them would have I'm lying. Ignore me.
I think we had this conversation
Yeah.
a long time ago, my
We
friend.
did
And we had it
essentially.
exactly the same way.
Yeah, I'm being an
Singapore
idiot.
won
I'm
matches,
just-
they didn't win games,
Carry on. Yeah.
but their MOV is still really high.
It's
Poland's
yeah,
was vastly high
if
because their
Poland had
win
managed
ratio was
to
really good.
make it,
but they
we
couldn't
kicked
close the
Italy,
matches
so
out.
that was- I'm just an idiot. It's fine.
But you're
It's
pretty. We've had
fine.
this conversation. You're fine.
Yes. 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 Keep stroking the ego. Doesn't need it. Um,
I will say
You're struggling the what?
ego.
All right, that's all I heard.
that's what he calls it.
Okay.
I will say there's probably a lot of people who are looking at captain's performances and overall team's performances on the back of the XCC, going, I don't think they've done that right or whatever. One, difficult position to be in, but 2, I don't think there's a single player that went to the XTC that did not deserve to be there.
But there is
I
one
think
player who
everyone-
didn't go to XT who did deserve to be there.
More than one.
No, it's one
Who's
we have to
different?
think about right now.
I know. He's sitting over there.
What, Jez?
But
She's a dog.
I'm
Oh,
gonna tell you,
Liam.
like,
Carry on, Liam.
I'm happy I didn't have to deal with that pressure. Like, I'd have done it, but I'm happy everyone went.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
you're
not-
also like the most happiest person of us 4 here because 3 of us are broken after XTC.
It's been a long time. And I
Sorry.
think that's the bit that I'm the most sad about is that I normally come off the back of the XTC and like regardless of the fact that it's been a load of hard work and everything else, it's been great because I've been able to see all the people like go out for drinks. Like 2019 XTC, I finished. I was drinking in a bar until 5 a.m. with the Americans and then got straight on a plane. It was great. And I've missed doing that this year, and I'm looking forward to hopefully doing it next year in person.
Yeah.
But yes.
Ernie is asking us, is anybody of us going to attend the Civ Taker Open in February?
I bought the first ticket.
Yes, I'm there.
Yes.
Sorry, quick shout out to Andreas Tolman, who did not play the XCC because he was captaining Austria and could not formulate a team, who also don't play the XCC.
Should have gotten Liam, right?
I think that between the two of them, they might have had a decent shot at beating Ireland and England in this event.
Yes. Liam is louder in the chat, yes. But yeah, I think all in, whilst this was a great event, and I hope that we have done it justice, because something, and I've talked a lot to Marcel about this behind the scenes, and about what like GSP is doing to boost this and what we're doing to boost this. And honestly, thank you guys as viewers, because I wasn't expecting this to be what it turned into. I was expecting to do a couple of little rundowns and that was fine. And it turned into something that was being really quite fun. But what we wanted to do with the spicy bet and with everything else, and yes, like sure, I'm just saying this afterwards, but the whole purpose of the spicy bet was to, like, it's to get people involved, it's to get people invested, and I'm glad that we could turn the XTC into something that other people could enjoy and not just the people playing it, because it's been going on for ages and probably there's quite a lot of people who are sick of it. But yeah, I don't think I would do it again if it was in this format, and I can say that with honesty, that I've been England captain for 5 years, and Wales captain for 1, England for 4, and I would not do this again if it was online in this format, and that's a shame.
Well, that's how we end it. Goodbye, everybody.
Nah,
Good
it's
talk.
gonna be different formats. We're gonna learn things from this.
Yeah.
But
Like, I am expecting next year to be different, 100%.
Nobby, X-Wing, and I'm going to read this out and then I'm going to reply to this. X-Wing players have been needing this with no OP support and such. This event was so neat to hype and boost the competitive nature and big stakes. I could not fucking agree more if I'd written every word myself.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of lockdown, on the close of lockdown, this was
Yeah.
the single best idea. And this has been the best crack. Mostly the chat, bar the playing. It has been the most crack. The most fun.
It injected hype into a game that people were saying, "Oh, TTS has killed it. Oh, Lockdown has killed it." We're like, no, there's life in this game.
Exactly.
Look
And
at the buzz we can create.
this is a one-off event, and it's based on a global pandemic. If the anti-vaxxers have their way, possibly the second one will come along. But bar that, this is a one-off.
Hmm.
And it's been amazing.
and it's
Mhm.
helped.
It was hard, and it was long, but it was
Yeah.
amazing.
And it's helped keep X-Wing alive, I think, which is it, like, competitive wise, like the top end of competitive X-Wing. And say what you like about Gold Squadron, they are doing a really good job to keep the top end of competitive X-Wing alive.
I never said a single bad word about Gold Squadron, but he shouldn't have gone Team USA, and they really should have fucking checked their material. We did not slag players and individuals.
Oh snap! Get fact checked. What?
Bo-bo-bo-bo.
Yeah, I
Do
I
you
love
recall
the fact
flagging
that
up a
Connor,
single player?
I love the
Do
fact
you?
that Connor clarifies the crack. I approve. I like the
Anyway.
fact, yeah, like, and this is the thing. This is why it has been really good, is because there's a lot of teams that wouldn't be able to travel to a real life XTC, and they got to show how damn good they were. Like Peru, represent.
Yeah.
Singapore.
Let's go back. Let's go back through the old teams. Malta, coming out of the woodwork,
Yeah.
throwing it together, keeping the dream alive. We loved it.
Yes.
Colombia, blowing the dust off the computer, working out how to play X-Wing in the middle of their first game against Ollie, crucifying him. It was class.
There it is. There it is.
The hits, the spills, the sleeps. I went
You-
0-3 and then 4-0. I mean, trust me, I had a fucking slow wake up to this event.
Yes.
I'm gonna point out that there's 37 teams that made the really dumb choice of not taking me.
And
Next
every
year.
single
It's always
one.
Next year.
Oh.
Do you know what, Liam? If you don't get in next year, then you might actually have some cause for concern. Because your
Oh,
business card
dear.
is below.
The otherwise we just talk like Liam.
The other thing as well, that just before we finish, because it is getting close to midnight and we should probably finish off, is the possibility of what might be happening in the future as well, because I've heard rumours, and I don't want to step on any toes, so I'm just going to talk about possibilities that might be in the pipeline, and I would love to see. Obviously, the XTC is going to carry on, but I think next year the XTC is going to be in person.
Yes.
What I think is going to be the case, and I know that Filippo is thinking about this, of making some form of online team tournament, but without countries. So you just make a team. Doesn't have
Back
to
to
be.
Liam.
Yeah, doesn't have to be associated with anything. You just go, all right, find how many players, 5, 7, whatever you want to do, and just make a team. And there's been a few things like bandied around, like maybe you do regional areas and then have a Champions League. Like, it'd be great. And I think that the lessons learned from this event, it would be really, really cool to see this turn into something big, because it was big this year, but this could be. Imagine if you didn't have country teams. How many teams could you get in this if it wasn't country teams? It could be really cool.
Zach has the point. We don't have the national pride, which was a big factor. However, you will have arguably a higher skill set.
But
You
this
also have how
this is the
many
thing.
American players not win it again?
But this has been an argument for as long as the XTC has carried on, is that some of us want to do national teams, some of us don't. I'll put my hand up and say that I actually don't want to do national teams. I would prefer to do like just general ones.
So a spicy roundup team +1.
But
I mean, we could do both, right? National teams,
Yeah.
and then just like
Yeah.
everybody else who wants to join can like make their own pirate teams.
But the problem is that
Ooh,
if you
Andreas,
get
we got our 5th. We're
if
done.
you get pirate teams, then I agree with that. Is that if you're doing the general tournament, then it makes no sense having country teams, because it's not a country team anymore. It's just, oh, you wanted to try and make a country team, but this person isn't here and that person isn't there. But so I think that the XTC is the place for that. And the fact that you've got the XTC is great, and I think the XTC with countries should carry on, because I think it's a great thing to do. It's like the World Cup, right? You get to enjoy that, like you get the national pride and everything else. And this was the thing. I think that it would be a really good idea to have multiple national teams. I think that'd be cool. A lot of people have a lot of thoughts about that as well. There is quite a big committee process with this. We do actually talk about a lot of the rules that go into the XTC. We haven't just thrown this tournament together willy-nilly. There is a awful lot of behind the scenes that Filippo has been doing, and God, that man has done a lot of work on this, and Bartosz as well. They've done an awful lot with all the judges to make sure that this has been working well. So shout out to I know that Daryl is judging, and I think Rick Porzius and a few other people. I think D is stateside. I don't know who all the judges are around the world, but those are the ones I know off the top of my head. But yeah, so there is a really, really hopeful future for all of this, I think. And
It is. And
yeah,
I
I'm
mean, like in
excited.
2 days we have the AMG big X-Wing panel talking about points and the Razor Crest.
Yeah.
We just got published by them, so I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Can I get a brief query to break down? AB Astinus, where are you from in the world?
I
I'm
know.
just curious the concept of Ollie with 4 UK team. You're already doing club teams.
Maybe Estinus, that's like, I don't know, Italy?
It's kind of starting to upset me a little.
So as a serious thing, I mean, Connor could take this one if he wants to.
Well, I'll make it really straightforward. Northern Ireland is not part of England.
It's his own country.
England is not a small country. It doesn't
No.
have a small population.
No, we've
Nor
got
does
what is
Wales,
it?
nor does Scotland.
50 million for England.
So,
Really?
as my 1.6 million country goes, we combined with a 6 million country to make a team, which
Yep.
we thought was relatively fair given the political landscape.
Correct.
The UK is not a country. It is the last vestiges of an empire. Just like you're not Rome.
Talk to anyone about rugby,
You said
and he will
UK
very
was
much
club
finds
teams.
that the UK is not a country, and also everyone hates England, which is fair and entirely deserved.
Including.
I mean, it's
including
fine,
me.
right?
I mean,
It's fine.
it's not
Include
fine.
me
We're
in the
assholes to
team.
everyone. Like yeah. So Ireland,
you-
Ireland is in the UK, but it's a very important point that when we're talking about countries, Wales, Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland each have very strong national identities, and like everyone that lives there is incredibly proud to not be English, and that's really important because, yeah, honestly, you guys should go and join the EU. Seriously, apart from like Wales may be screwed if they do, but I hope not.
I'm just waiting for them, right? Like, I have the papers ready for Wales, Scotland, and everybody.
I mean, I
wants
can
to
see
join.
it. Leave us on our own little screwed corner. Why not?
Yes, I want to be famous. Let me click on the link.
Liam Aniston is on their way as well.
I would even
If
take
they're
America.
in-
Come on, like we could make something happen.
Anyway,
Everybody in America could make something happen.
Right? Like with all the nuclear weapons. Like, come on.
I was about to say. Like, there's so many possibilities.
Commonwealth Team Championship,
Commonwealth Team Championships. Oh, wow.
one from each.
Hey, can I like give myself a little ego boost here while talking about XTC?
Go on.
I'm checking like my results right now, and I didn't notice it earlier, but my wins in XTC on that finals weekend were against Italy, Peru, USA, and Singapore. And can we check again the team ladder?
Did you go 4-5?
No, 5-4. Like the last win was just like, I think, I don't even know, but I won 4 games against the top 4 teams, and my team squandered that. Like peak Funwalk wasted.
There we go. And on the subject of MOV,
Yeah, this is also funny, right? Like in ranking, my ranking for XTC is number 23.
can
My
I rank
MOV
this
is
by
rank
MOV?
5.
Am I allowed to rank this by MOV? So okay,
Wow.
okay,
Well,
this
you've
is
looked into this now.
really important. Funwalk's MOV for 5-4, 2-3-10, right?
Yeah. It's the 5th best MOV, I already checked.
You almost beat the 9-0 on MOV.
Yes.
That is just like okay, sure.
That's ridiculous.
He's got 800 more points than you just on wins alone.
I
Holy
know.
crap,
This
though.
is,
Look at
this is-
Italian's resistance.
Right? He was slapping. Italian Resistance was slapping, but that was like the original McJousty list, right?
Yeah.
From Italy. So, no
Ah,
surprises there.
France First Order beat you by 1 MOV. That's
I
disappointing.
know, right? I know.
That's disappointing.
This is like telling my story of the weekend, right? Like my wins were like very convincing and my losses were like super close. So I'm super fine with that, right? Like I'm very happy with the 5 and 4, with all the circumstances included.
Yeah,
But man, everything's so close.
yeah, yeah. No, it was. I think all in, as much as I've felt disappointed and grumpy about it, I think it was a really, really good event. This,
Yeah.
and I think it's thank you to everyone for being involved in it. It's been fun.
And apologies for a brief period of national pride.
Yeah.
Nah, it's
Honestly-
fine, right? Like it's the only event in the whole X-Wing where we can do something like that.
Do you know what? Like the spicy roundup has been the highlight of the lockdown for me. This
It's
has
been
been
the
a
highlight of
lot
my
of fun.
XTC because I was included in it.
I suppose we should probably because I don't think this is going away. I'm not. Maybe we're not doing it every Sunday. Like
Yeah, that's too much.
people
That's a bit
know.
too much.
People know my streaming schedule isn't a schedule.
It's sort of a rough concept of
Yeah.
you're Gandalf.
Yes.
Never too late, never too early.
Ollie appears exactly when he's meant to.
Which is half an hour after I say normally. But yeah. So I think what I would like to do is I've already locked in with Funwalk that I'd like to go over our game if Funwalk is okay with that.
It was a great game. It was like super like mentally
yeah.
great.
There's been a couple of fun ones. I would also really like to go over my game against sorry, it's gone out of my head. I'm gonna look up his name because why not? I can.
While you're looking up the name, like we should do one after the points update, of course. Like all the spicy hot takes about points and new lists. Like I'm ready for that.
Matteo, sorry. Yeah, Benatti. I played Matteo and I actually really enjoyed that game. I was quite tired at the time, but I think I gave the triple scam a pretty good showing with 2 A-Wings and Poe, so I would...
You already against Gary's good. I don't think there's anything else he did I wouldn't have done.
It was the 50-50 turn of the 3 bank in.
Yeah, and I ran through the Maz, and I think I still would have done it.
It was good. It was good. I think he did he made the right decisions, just Poe managed to get away.
If there was any way to
thing that-
stop Procket landing with a double Procket shot,
Yeah.
I'd like to run that again. But bar that.
Sorry, Liam, go for it.
So we mentioned in the last one a challenge. Did we settle on what that challenge what that would entail for me? Am I facing the winners? Am I facing a person?
Oh,
from each
that's a
team?
good point.
Oh yeah, shit. We forgot about that.
Because as much fun as it would be to face the winners, I wouldn't mind having a crack at one person of each team, just randomly selected.
Yeah, I think
How
that'd be
about
really
round
cool.
second? How
I
about
think that
round
would be more
second
fun.
1 to 7?
I mean, alternatively,
So,
we just get in
it's
contact
that
with the
easy.
teams and see
Right.
who wants to play you.
No, but come on, if we do
yeah.
this again, Marcel's currently 9-0. That's got to be the first one to play. then Italy,
Oh.
France,
I actually really
and
want to
then we
see
have
that
to drop down a
game.
bit.
I would love to see Liam versus Marcel.
Uh-huh.
I also really want to play Liam, and I want to play against his your nonsense Fire Spray Nantex list, because I would
I
love
mean,
to
this
have an
sounds
ace.
pretty bad, right?
I would love
If
to
we
have
can
an
get
ace versus ace game against Liam. I think that'd be really
Okay.
fun.
Well, if you do one of every player in the 9, right? And if Liam can go 5-4, there must be a reward. And if Liam can't go 5-4, there must be a punishment.
Yeah, I'll kill myself.
Oh, no!
Something about
Sorry,
removing a
Ollie.
stick from the butt.
Does
If
anybody
I get
disagree with
TOS'd, I'm not gonna. I mean,
Honestly, I'll take whatever challenges thrown down in front of me.
I don't
Actually,
think there should
complete
be
it.
I don't think there should be forfeits or challenges for this one. I feel like if Liam manages to do it, then awesome. But
Then he wins XTC, right? Then,
yeah,
actually.
exactly.
it? Ollie,
Yes.
Ollie. Awesome is not enough.
I mean,
There has to be something writing on this.
that because when we did it originally, we were considering whether or not we should get Liam to pick one of each faction and make him play against a hodgepodge, like essentially the XTC.
I can still do that.
Because
If
someone could, if Liam makes the list, like I'll pair for Liam, and then he just has to play.
One
Okay,
list.
so how about this? If we randomly select one country from the 37 or the top 10, randomly assign a faction to a person selected from said team,
Republic.
and then I just go against them.
Marcel.
I'll get Ollie to pair for me.
Well,
And
this
then
is
I just
this is
run
the thing,
against
right? If we basically, if we can make a one from each faction, yeah, if we can get a faction from each of the countries that it like find people that are interested in playing against Liam, and Liam makes 7 different lists, one from each faction that he wants to fly.
Yeah.
And then
Bearing in mind, I only fly 2, maybe 3.
I don't know. I feel like we're making a pig of this. Maybe we should just get Liam to play all 7 different players.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, there's Andreas
Well,
for the mystery team of the Ghost Austria. I still think the top ranking player from each country.
I think that'd be cool.
And that would be cool, right? The top ranking player, like the champion of the team.
So who we
Yeah.
got? Not me.
Marcel.
You got Marcel. We have Italy Rebels Raviolo. We have Nick Durand from France. We have Singapore Rebels. Who was Singapore Rebels?
Slide right.
Let me check. Singapore Rebels. Need a second.
No, it's not. It's not right. It doesn't have the details on here.
Yeah, wait a second. I'm gonna check already.
I got it.
Really
I got
cool.
it.
Okay.
Jared Law.
Jared Law.
What was he flying? Oh yeah, that was the 4 ship. He moved. Oh yeah, he.
Heratani, yeah.
That's nice and easy.
See,
You
it
can
was a good
easily
idea.
play against all that. So far, we got Power Races,
Peru.
Bad Scum, we got Heavy Scum, and now we have Teratani.
Peru Resistance. There we go. Peru Resistance.
McJousty.
Oh, that's a
pretty
really
sure.
good list. Yeah.
For Germany, it's probably
Germany
Catch. Like he
Rebels.
was the best of us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That is a. Ketch is just annoyingly good.
And it's going to be Kez, right?
It is Kez, yeah. Of course
Mhm.
it's Kez. Liam's just like, no, I don't want to. I like it.
if I'm seeing a lot of McJousty, I'm just gonna go. Just let me run my separatists into this.
Yep.
Being smart, going for the counter.
Also, shout out to the combo. Rich Polyand. Who played the other day for Rich?
Gary.
So yeah, Rich and Gary going
Oh,
6 and 3 between them.
Nice. Still sad
Uh,
that Rich switched from his bombers actually,
Yeah.
but it
Don't
was a
go
right
all the
call.
way to the
It
bottom
was the
to
right
find
call.
material.
So Switzerland Empire. Who was Switzerland Empire? Where was Swiss?
Nash playing Nash.
Oh,
on the
it's the
discipline
Nash one.
squad.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
that kicked my face in.
Okay, so all we have to do is send out requests, and Nobby's going to stream it all.
There we go.
It's fine. It's gonna be fine.
Sorted. XLC. There we go.
XLC. Nice.
XLC.
X-Wing Liam Team Championship.
Nobby's on this. We'll just would
Yeah,
not
we set the
watch all of
range.
it live.
Liam's going to play 10 games in reverse order. He picks one list, and they are stuck with the list they've got. But he gets to pick a list to counter all 10. Easy.
Is it
Okay,
like
I
that?
like
Like
that.
one list against all 10? Or can Liam
Yeah,
like
so
as a little
they-
bonus?
No,
choose
they're
this
stuck with their list, and he gets to pick a list to go into them.
list? Okay. I mean, that's
Right?
not bad,
Oh,
right? You
right,
know
yeah.
the enemy list, so you can kind of counterpick them maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can only counterpick
Yeah.
once.
That should be enough.
You can't counterpick everything.
Yeah. Right. I think we're gonna cut. I think we've got to a decent point. What we are gonna do is we're gonna continue with some of these. I think points changes is a good one to talk about. So maybe this Sunday. Maybe
Hopefully.
not.
Maybe
We'll
not.
see. Because you're getting off a plane on some point on Sunday, right?
It's distinctly possible if I'm going somewhere.
We'll work it out. We'll pick a night next week, or we'll do it. We'll do it
Literally,
on Sunday.
maybe spending that time lying hungover beside you.
That's so cute.
I mean, I'm just putting this out there. We could do it live together. we could record it on Sunday.
The not safe for work version. Ollie and Connor after dark.
I mean, we
The
could
phone.
we could just record it on a phone live, like
We
with,
could.
and then upload it later.
I'm actually not expecting points, right, this week. Like, I'm expecting them
I
to
am
talk about
also
points.
not expecting points this week. I think
No,
if you
neither
if
am
you
I.
have a look at the announcement, it looks as if it's going to be we're going to tell you about the points and when the points are going to be, which is actually going to be the end of September.
Yeah, I'm expecting that. Plus, like, lots of talk about Razor Crest because of hype and lots
Yeah.
of people pre-ordering stuff.
I haven't said that too loudly though, because I kind of want people to be mad. I don't know.
Yeah,
I enjoy the little corner of the X-Wing community that gets unreasonably angry.
I know, right?
I've
But-
been telling so many
where did
people.
Fly?
like,
What's his
yeah,
face go?
The Flying Mighty.
Yeah.
Vince is still here. He doesn't get unreasonably angry. He gets grumpy sometimes when you call things North Mexico. South Mexico? Is Peru South
South
Mexico?
Canada, North Mexico.
Peru is now South Mexico. There we go.
No, Peru is Peru. Like, they are that, man. Don't
Ex-Mexico
slander
as
Peru.
well.
Ex-Mexico.
And just booked a hall for the 18th. Wait, what's this?
I don't know. What's the 18th, Nobby?
Yeah, it's fine. But anyway, yeah. So next time you see us, it may be a possibly live, possibly slightly tipsy podcast. Should be good fun. And yeah, I think we will see you guys on the flip side. So have a very good evening or morning wherever you are, and
Back to dials.
back to dials.
Good enough.
Toodles.
Bye.